I wasn't aware of energy. I was very much westernized of, this is what a counselor does. If I knew what I knew now, was back in that field, it would be so much better for myself and for the people. I already started thinking about doing a wellness center. Healing is within us. It's just within. When I had registered Ocean and Faith, like that wasn't really a thing yet. The egg was built September 6th. She was born September 8th. Two babies born together. This then is about them.
Dear friends, welcome to Impromptu Stories. Today we're speaking with Ashley. For over a decade, Ashley Young poured her heart working with youth and children, always giving, always showing up with compassion. She was living a normal life, doing good work, yet feeling spiritually and mentally disconnected. The burnout became impossible to ignore, and in the stillness that followed, Ashley made a bold decision to look and heal within. Guided by her faith and a vision rooted deep in her soul, Ashley began her healing journey that led to the creation of Within, a holistic wellness studio designed to help others reconnect with their own truth. Today, Ashley is here to share her powerful story of burnout, awakening, and the beauty of rebuilding life from the inside out. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Ashley. Welcome to Impromptu Stories podcast. I'm so happy to be in your beautiful studio today, and so happy to talk about your studio and your life today.
Thank you. I'm glad and honored to be on your podcast.
Thank you. Have you ever dreamed about living somewhere else, some like not in Canada, but maybe in another country, or because you know how Canada is like it's a welcoming country to many immigrants, and I'm an immigrant myself for 16 years now. In my life, I always wanted to live somewhere else. One of the countries was U.S. and then UK and Australia, and somehow I ended up coming to Canada. So have you ever thought about living somewhere else?
Well, my grandparents, actually all of my grandparents on both sides of my father, maternal and paternal, they're from Barbados on my father's side, and my mother's side, Scotland and Hungary. So actually, that Barbados would be a goal actually in the near future.
Oh, wow.
I would like to, we do have property there, and I'd like to set up a retreat place kind of in conjunction with this wellness center.
It's a beautiful vision you have. Wow. So it's beautiful because you already have the property there. It's beautiful that you have this beautiful vision. But having the retreat center, I think is just awesome. I wish you all the best for that. I hope one day I'll go and visit your property.
Yeah.
And then the retreat center, I guess. Yeah. In your story, you say that for over a decade you've been working as a youth child and youth counselor.
Yeah.
As a therapist, yeah.
It was more. So I started out. Actually in daycare before and after school programs, and then when I moved out here, I worked at Whole Services, which is a treatment facility for children and youth. Did all kinds of different programs, track program. That was an interesting time in my life. I don't feel like it worked well. I feel like the system was broken. And then I left there and I worked at a domestic violence shelter. And I worked with the children there, the children and the mothers, and I developed a 6 kind of week program, and then I would follow them out into the community and continue on working with those families. And that was that I felt that was good. I ended up kind of burning out. It was during the pandemic. There was my partner in crime. There was the two of us child and youth counselors. She moved on and went to a different organization. And so it was all the families kind of on my shoulders. And I don't think people realize the intensity of all the expectations within the pandemic. So when people were kind of off, I was going through, I didn't have any time off. It was a continuous. So I think I just at the end, it was like, and that's her.
Hey, she's smiling now. Hi, we're welcoming Ocean.
We're
Hi,
welcoming.
Ocean.
She's part of the.
She's part of the show, yeah. Hi. I love your beautiful smile, your beautiful outfit.
And I actually rebranded the company to Within Wellness Studio, and the logo is incorporated ocean and faith is the harmonic egg.
Yeah.
And I rebranded to them because it was December, so it was November 27th, 2023 that I found out about the harmonic egg.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna ask you first. Yeah, we will come to the story.
Oh, okay.
So, what maybe some of the meaningful lessons you learned from that chapter of your life when you were the counselor at the domestic violence shelter and other places?
I think overall,
especially when you burnt out, like what was a little like lesson about yourself, maybe?
Well, that I wasn't aware of energy. And I wasn't, no. Yeah. So I was very much westernized of, you know, this is what a counselor does and so forth. And I would come home, I wasn't protecting my energy. I naturally am an empath, so I'm taking on everybody's emotions and
their problems, their stories,
and not protecting myself properly. So, you know, all the things that I do now, if I knew what I knew now and took that was back in that field, it would be so much better for myself and for the people, knowing that you want to talk about it too.
Yeah, right? No, that's so. Those experiences, would you say they prepared you for creating Within Wellness Center?
It was actually at the YWCA women's shelter that's when I decided, had already started thinking about doing a wellness center. And at the time I was like thinking of moving to Kelowna and opening up a wellness center. So I had already started doing all the research on it. And then when I burnt out, I just kind of put it to the side. And then jumped into that equipment and tools. In hindsight, that was just to prepare me for knowing how to run a business, and all the pressures and so forth, because I was running the two companies, and it was solely me. I was wearing all the hats.
Wow, that's good. So it gave you lots of skills and experiences, right? So when you talk about tools and equipment, is it something to do with wellness or no?
No, it was the opposite. It was cranes.
But it just was you immersed, I guess, in an environment where you had to run the businesses.
That's right, by myself. When I started, there was 7 of us, and when I ended, it was myself, the bookkeeper, and the yard manager.
So it gave you lots of knowledge and skills and experiences, which you already had, but I'm sure it just was more expanded. But just when you said when you were a child and youth counselor, and what made you to burn out because you had no idea, you didn't know anything about energy. So how did you come to learn about? Because before you even dreamt about wellness center, something probably was in between happened. That's some
Yeah.
shit.
Yes, right,
Yeah.
right. When did I? I love your voice. I love your voice. Yeah. It was actually my sister-in-law. She's worked a lot. Was working towards her master's in Reiki. Doing all the things. So I started doing some of the courses of the people that she was doing courses with. She would do Reiki on me, and I remember the one time her doing a session on me, and right after that session, I quit smoking. I smoked cigarettes.
Oh wow! Like heavily?
Yeah, I quit smoking.
I would never know about that if you didn't tell me.
I know. It's like another. That's a
world, a different world.
A different world. Yeah, I was also an alcoholic, so yeah. Right after that, it was like I quit cold turkey of all of that just from her Reiki session, which was amazing.
Just one session or several?
One.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So you would say like even one step, one session kind of makes big
big difference. Big change. Yes, yeah. And so then after that, then she brought me to another woman out in, and I'm drawing a blank where it is. Her name's Vashti, and there was sound baths and things out there. So I started doing sound baths, and the sound, because I was running the two companies, I was so, my anxiety levels were like up here all the time. Not wanting to drop the ball and miss any deadlines and things like that. So going to the sound bath was this huge release. I was so calm and connected and grounded after the event, and it would be back like in my body, back of this balance feeling. So after that, I would be at those sound baths all the time. And then I started, just exploring.
So how did it come to you, the idea of, or the dream of creating your own wellness studio? Did you have a clear vision already, or you kind of, so because that's kind of woke up in you, right? It woke up in you.
So I had already wanted to do the wellness studio just for working within the field of child and youth, and realizing there's a disconnect of that how Western, approach is, knowing that these children are still heavily medicated, and I didn't really see too many improvements. So I knew there is I wanted to open up a wellness. I just didn't know exactly what it was going to look like.
But it's lovely that you already thought that there was a need, there's a huge gap that was missing within the system. And that's, I think you came, I'm not sure, it's okay if I use it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should probably put it in my mouth, but sorry.
Here.
Yeah.
Beautiful ring.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a shiny. It's here. So, and then you realize that this is what the missing puzzle piece is. And you wanted to kind of integrate that into this program, right? For the youth and children. But then, so what happened next? What's your next step? Like, how did the birth of within Wellness Center?
So the owners of the two equipment and tooling companies asked to buy in, and it was a substantial amount that they were looking for. And I was thinking to myself, why, if I was to invest that amount of money, why wouldn't I do something I'm passionate about? Which has always been in the helping kind of supportive sector or field. So the Wellness Center came back into the forefront of my mind. So that meeting was the Friday. I remember it was a Friday evening. It was in November. And the Monday it was November 27th, that I had a scheduled psychic meeting. And this psychic was from Ontario because I was born in Ontario, and I had gone to her way back then, and I had forgotten about her, and I actually reached out to her in the summertime, and I couldn't get into the session until November 27th. And it was just so after that, she told me when I said about the wellness center. I said, well, I was thinking the wellness center or as a realtor. And she goes, I see you doing a wellness center. And she goes, have you heard of the harmonic egg?
Oh, that's how you heard about harmonic.
Yeah.
That was my second question.
Yeah.
And the next one, I mean, because that's like, how did it come into your,
Was that, yeah. So she brought to my attention the harmonic egg, and she said, it is, this technology is going to be huge. It's very new right now, so a lot of people don't know about it, but it's going to be big. And so I hung up with her and I looked online, and I see Harmonic Egg Canada, and then I see Gail Lynn is the inventor, and she has these few videos, and I watch these videos and I go, this is it.
This is it. Yeah.
This is the missing piece that I was looking for my wellness center. And so that was November 27th. I registered my company December 7th and put the down payment December 11th for the egg without trying it. And
just by watching the videos online.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she was conceived December 14th. So it was like bang, 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 which I didn't know at the time. So I go to Tulum, Mexico, and that's when I realized that I'm pregnant. But the thing is I had already put that down payment onto that harmonic egg, which was substantially a lot, and you're not going to get that money back.
Yeah.
So when I found that I was pregnant, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to open a company with a baby as well.
Yeah, so it's like, as you said on your website, it's like almost like you're giving birth to two babies, which is beautiful.
That's
beautiful
right.
So how did you come up with them? So firstly, I wanted to hear a little bit about what is harmonic egg, because I honestly haven't heard about it until you told me about it. I haven't heard about it. Yeah.
So it's light, sound, frequency, vibration chamber in the shape of an egg, because the most healing shape is an egg. And what people don't realize is that we are just energy. Just like you're on your cell phone with someone else on a cell phone and there's Wi-Fi. You can't see Wi-Fi, but you know that it's there. And so we have 7 subtle bodies around before our physical body. And within our 7 subtle bodies, those can become imbalanced, and we can't visually see it, but it's there. And so with all the stressors and things of life,
they get disaligned, I guess. Yeah, they get disbalanced.
So they're frequencies, and the egg doesn't actually heal you. Your body actually has the capacity to heal itself. It just needs a reminder of what frequency that it should be vibrating and operating in. So as you're in the egg, it kind of recalibrates and shows, okay, this is where my body should be at. And as we all know, our bodies don't know disease by name. Is that a Western
what does mean? The Western saying, you mean?
A Western saying, like we need to label and put something on there, which which, as I'm reading within the Course of Miracles, our bodies don't miscreate. It's our minds that creates error.
Yeah.
And the body just follows what is created from our mind. So it's our thoughts and our beliefs and our emotions that
She wants to toy?
yeah, I'm going to
Let me just grab that.
she's
This one?
I wonder if you're teething. Eh? This is and this is what it has been, running a business and with the little one.
Yeah. So you're nurturing both two babies, nurturing your new business, just newly started business, which you started operating when? Just in January?
November, actually.
November last fall.
Yep.
So it's only been like 6 months or so.
6 months. Yep.
6 months old. And how old is Ocean?
She's 8 months.
She's 8 months old. So yeah, because you opened the doors, I guess 6 months old, but you've been already creating this business before that, right? Because it's how long it took for the egg to be built.
Yeah, it took.
Are you okay with that? You're feeding while you're
yeah. Okay. It took 6 months for the egg to be built. So I had put the down payment December. It arrived in June 2024. Then it sat in storage for a couple months at my brother's business because I didn't have a space. Things kept on falling through.
Yeah.
Initially, I had looked at a place on 10th in Kensington. And the owner of that wanted an outrageous amount for the deposit. And hindsight now, because that was only like 800 square feet. So it was substantially smaller.
Yeah.
And so that fell through, and then I looked for another place, and it was 1,500 square feet on Kensington, and that place had fallen through, and I was getting very worried now. And it was interesting because we have nesting calls before you get your egg. So it's kind of like these monthly calls that help you for support and so forth on creating the business. And Gail Lynn is the inventor, and I kind of broke down and started crying about like I don't have a space, the egg is here.
Yeah, I've been getting all the support because you didn't even start building it yet.
I didn't have a space yet. Yeah. And anyway, so she did a long distance egg session for me. And right after that session was done, I got like an email, a ding, and this place came up in my radar. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is also Kensington, right?
Yeah, the 14th. It's still in the Kensington.
Still in Kensington area location. Yeah. How many square feet do you have here now?
Just under 3,000 square feet.
Wow. So much more. So you didn't know this, but your vision was supposed to be
much bigger.
Much bigger, yes. Because you have a beautiful studio, and I was gonna say, so that's just good that everything fell together, and I'm always gonna say I'm really impressed that she could do it online with you. So you could do egg session online with people?
Yeah, long distance. Because she's in the States.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. And that was already because you, as you said, like the energy can travel.
Just like Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just like Wi-Fi. Yeah. Wow, that's very, very impressive. Yeah. So so you've been like you've committed to this, you went by faith. You left the security life because you could have been still employed, working.
Yeah, I left there. Didn't have a job to go to. That was faith. That was the first step of realizing to take a leap of faith. And right then my church reached out to do an interview for running the children's programs. I ended up getting that, and then a little while later my brother then helped with the tooling and equipment. And so that was important. That was an important piece because I didn't have a very good relationship with money. I had kind of a poverty thinking, and to the amount of what the egg would cost, if you would have said you would be spending something just under 100,000, um, that to me, just coming out of the shelter, I would not have believed it or been able to envision something like that. So, um, anyways,
Yeah. So that's how did it feel for you to receive the miracle of having a new baby conceived in you, like growing in you, in the midst of such major shifts, life shifts you were going through, because you were just as you were saying, like it involves a big financial investment, it involves big portion of your faith, just as you said, like taking a leap of faith. Although I'm sure all the steps that with Reiki, healing, and other things helped you to kind of have some trust, build some trust, I guess, in the universe, right? Because before, didn't you say you had like some like westernized mindset?
yeah.
That, but so I'm just saying, how did you receive, yeah, the news about your beautiful baby coming out of her?
I was kind of fearful. Um, and what's interesting now that I realize my two boys, I was not nauseous with them, and I was nauseous with her. And looking back now, if I had known, because I realize all kind of ailments and so forth become is from our thinking, and so nauseousness is actually fear of the future. So now sitting back and seeing that, there was fear there of what this was going to look like. Um, and her father and I weren't together. So in my mind, it was like I'm doing this again alone, bringing a child kind of out of wedlock. And I had other goals for myself of like, if I was ever to have another child, I would have been married and done it, what societal looks as proper. But at the same time, I also looked at it as a blessing because my I only had one fallopian tube and one ovary. So for her to even come, it was like, I know this is God, sending this little gift for me. Um, and if that's how it's sent, then of course you know, I'm only going to be given what I can handle.
Yes.
Right?
It's so empowering to hear, I believe, to so many women out there who are going to be listening to this podcast. Your story is just so inspiring and empowering. But just by you being so young, single mother with now a third child on the way, right? And birthing this new business with lots of financial commitment. And I'm really like, I don't know how to say this, but I really admire you. I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
By your strengths. I think, would you say, yeah, where does that strength come from? You do have
well,
fear,
I have to say my mother. My mother, she is so strong, so resilient. She's my rock. Um, she, because obviously this wasn't just rainbows and butterflies. Going through pregnancy and trying to find, the loans and so forth for the company. Your my hormones are all over the place. Being pregnant, there was a lot of sobbing meltdowns that she would just be there and, you know, give me encouragement of like, you've got this, you know.
So your mother was by your side. She's here in Calgary.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. She lives in the basement.
Oh, nice. So
of the house. She's there. Yes.
That's nice.
And
so how did you? What kept you? What made you stay grounded? What made you kept going? Your mother, you said, and
my mother, just being. Oh, I also then went and tried the egg at in the Northeast, Kathleen's Egg. So I bought a membership there, and I did monthly, bi-weekly sessions, which was so beneficial.
So how many eggs in Calgary now? How many
There
eggs?
was 4, but now there's 3. Unfortunately, the Universal closed in the Southwest in Martelou. So there's Northeast, Southeast, and my location, the Northwest.
Yeah. So you named your egg
Faith.
Faith.
Yeah.
Do everybody name their eggs?
They do, yes.
Okay. So what does faith mean to you now? Today? And what it meant to you when you wanted to name it?
Just strength, and that we are never alone. You know, we are always supported. It is a false belief that we are alone and that we are by ourselves. We're all connected. We're all taken care of. There's nothing that occurs in our life that is that we don't like overcome. You know, we need these adversities to for our growth and our development. So it's still been even a process opening up this space and knowing that to continue in that faith, and a reminder of the purpose for this. The purpose is to help everyone else to remove that fear and know that, you know, we're just unconditional love, we're a human body having a spiritual experience, you know?
Yeah. So when you opened your doors to your wellness center on November 1st?
November 1st, yes.
2024. So if you could just maybe share with us, what were your first feeling, your first emotions, if you remember? Yeah,
just huge excitement. It was finally just this feeling of I did it. Like I've got like all this came to fruition. And then so also this this was also, you think that you've got to the end of or the top of the mountain, that yes, victory is here and now it's all smooth sailing. No, there's still a business to run. And as an entrepreneur, it will always be kind of like a roller coaster of the things to do and so forth. So it was quite interesting navigating her ocean and bookings and so forth at that time, because I didn't have a full you know, practitioners here yet and things like that. So yeah,
it's beautiful. You have even room for ocean for your daughter.
Yeah.
Is it so? But clients don't come with patients. I mean, clients don't come with babies, right? Because they probably or you welcome them if it's.
I welcome that.
Okay, good.
and I
So it's on. So ocean can share her room with other babies.
Yeah. So what I want to eventually have is that would be a child mining
Mm.
area
Mm-hmm.
for families
Mm-hmm.
to come do the things that they want to do, and they can bring their children and their babies
Yeah.
here. And then as you know she gets older, then I turn it into more of a sensory room because I've
Mm-hmm.
developed that when I was
Yeah.
working at the Y.
Mm-hmm. Because there's so much wellness also can be done around children. Yes,
Exactly.
because that was your original
Was
vision, right?
yes, for
To help
children.
children, yes.
Yes.
So it's I think it's really really something really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely. So I know the community means a lot to you. So what kind of community you building around here? I see that you have so many classes you offer, not only the harmonica itself, but maybe you can tell me a little bit more what services you offer here, like because you welcomed here like your classes, right? You
Yes.
have Reiki classes.
We have various modalities. So within the classes, and this my thinking on that
Maybe I'm not naming it
was
properly. Maybe not class. Maybe I meant
they are
sessions. Oh,
classes.
as well.
Nope,
Oh,
they're
really?
classes. Yeah.
Okay.
So my ideology for that was, you know, prior to my wellness center, I would have a gym membership, and then I was doing the sound baths, and then I'm doing breath work, and then I'm doing, you know, you name it,
Yeah, Reiki.
sharing circles,
Mm-hmm.
um, and all that money, you know, as a single mom, that it
Adds
is a
up.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I've decided to do where people can get all of those things under one umbrella. So one membership, and you have your sound bath, your hypnotherapy, your breath work, your yoga classes, various yoga classes, sharing circles, meditation, qigong, for one monthly price, or you can just do drop-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And then the modalities. So if you have one membership for the egg, then you've got a discount for everything else under the
Mm-hmm.
roof. There's body talk, bars, bioresonance, sit therapy, Reiki, readings, Akashic record readings,
Wow.
all
It's
of that.
just it's beautiful, especially when you say like moms, like as you said, like running around the city, right? Going here, one thing, another thing, because there's some breath work that's offered, like maybe in Cochrane or in other places, and can be
Mm-hmm.
farther, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful that you kind of got everything under one umbrella, as you say. I like that. So, Ashley, how did you come up with the name Within? Why did you name your wellness center as Within?
Actually, it was Divine Wellness Within. So that's still the legal name.
Mm-hmm.
But now, halfway through, I was like, I need to rebrand because when I had registered um, Ocean and Faith, like that wasn't really a thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lotus flower, and the lotus flower was about me. And then, you know, when the egg was built September 6th, she was born September 8th. Um, it literally like two babies born together.
Mm-hmm.
This then created for me, I think this is about them. Um, so I wanted simplicity because healing is within us. It's just within.
Mm-hmm.
Our bodies heal itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very, very deep meaning there. It's beautiful. I knew there's something to do with your internal transformation and shift that yeah, even when we say we need to work on ourselves, it's within. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly.
And even in, like, if you look at even people in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the other person.
True.
Okay. When we start working on ourselves, within ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
everything else will start emanating that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe that too. True.
Either they become closer with you within that frequency, or
They're gonna be.
or that they don't begin to work on themselves, then it expels, but we then bring in and align within our frequency.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I totally agree with you in that. Thank you so much for saying that. I think it's good for all of us to hear it again, just as a reminder, because it's easier to blame others and leave it like that, but
It's all
actually it's all
us.
us.
Yeah.
Today, like if somebody like listening to our story, but they're standing at the edge of decision making, what words would you say to these people? You were also that age, right? When you like had to like make the decision of giving that deposit, right? And moving
There that
forward to
there
your dream.
Yeah, that but there are no mistakes.
Mm.
Regardless what choices we make, there actually are no mistakes. Um and when you just go in knowing if this is if this is the goal that you have in mind that you've decided, that's all that matters. And knowing, like, whatever you want to believe in, God,
Yeah.
universe, whatever it is, has your back. You have a whole invisible team behind you that are rooting for you and going to help support you within this life, this journey. um,
Yeah.
and it's also learning to even ask for the help, asking for that help, whatever vision or goal that you have, that anything can be accomplished. If we don't take those risks, we ultimately become a shell. We aren't then growing if we're not moving forward and creating and being creative. What does another thing I used to tell the kids, from Einstein? What he said: what is more important, um, knowledge or imagination? And it's actually imagination, because the knowledge that we have here is already what exists. If that was the case, the light bulb or the airplane or so forth wouldn't even come to fruition if they didn't have the imagination first to create, right?
Yeah, I always say like the creativity, that's what actually also creates that space for energy, for
It's in this
self-reflection.
matter, right? And as this world begins to shift, that energy, that gray matter of in the creation area becomes even quicker. So we have to be very mindful of what we're thinking, because it creates even sooner than, say, I don't know, 10 years ago, you wanted a job, with XXX, or a house that was what, it would have taken a lot longer to come to your reality.
When you're looking now in this beautiful studio, when you're looking around your well within wellness studio, what's this like space or experience that you're really most proud of?
um, Within the center,
Yeah.
every part of it,
Yeah, yeah.
all
Okay.
of it,
Okay, good,
because
good.
I remember, looking at this space, and it was a bit neglected. This whole space was it had been sitting for 2 years, very out of date. And my friend, uh, Carrie, she's a realtor, and she was kind of like looking at me like, "You aren't going to go lease this place, are you?"
Because tell us how it was looking before, like it was like listen to that carpets and stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
had very like dark burgundy gray carpets. It was very dark, dingy. The windows were double paned, so old. Bars. There was bars on the outside of the window. I think with my vision and creativity, it's brought light and the flooring, new floors, new windows. We knocked out walls. We created a better space for the egg room. I think it all flows, and the energy of the egg is light and fun, and people. The first thing that they say when they walk in here is that they can feel how beautiful it is in this space.
It is beautiful, peaceful,
Peaceful, calm.
just, yeah, calm, yeah, and I love like everything. Magical too, yeah. And because when you walk in, like you have everything like put together nicely, like really beautiful furniture, just pieces of, yeah, just feels very peaceful. Yeah, that's what I guess your vision was.
My vision.
As well, yeah. Broader impact of the studio. How do you envision that? What do you hope to achieve for this one?
Just that it just impacts so many individuals, people, families, that this is a community, a safe, welcoming, non-judgmental community to begin to work within.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Ashley, so much for sharing your beautiful, inspiring, and empowering story of faith. How we can overcome
anything
and have, yeah,
with faith.
With faith, yeah, faith in ourselves, faith in the vision we're having, or in the creative, not just we're having. So beautiful. Thank you so much. I wish you the joy and the growth and all the best with nurturing this baby and this baby too.
And yeah, good job.
Good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana. I so appreciate this.
Aren't you so proud of your mama? Look at you and you're growing together with the studio. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.